What's up, guys? Kirk back here, Liberty Bell Beekeeper. So, at it again, removal number 3 for the year, and I'll show you what we got. So, we got a little hole in this wood clapboard siding right at the top of my ladder there. That's where the bees are getting in. Seems they've been here for a few years. This kind of thing happens. There's another hole over here, which I think might have had some wasps or hornets in it, so we're going to address that hole while we're out here today. But beautiful old home. Happens often with these homes with the wood clapboard that something happens. Woodpecker, squirrels, a knot in the wood, who knows what happened that created this hole, but it is there. And honeybees often take up residence behind something else like a woodpecker or a squirrel. They make the hole, honeybees find it and evict the residents if it's not already empty. So we're going to take a walk upstairs and show you what we... Okay, so we're in the bedroom here on the 3rd floor where the bees are coming in. Here's my equipment. Don't have everything set up yet, but here we are. So we're looking at this corner here, and if we take a look with the thermal imager, you can see there's the bees. So we're going to make a cut bigger than that hole, at least taller, because this has been here a few years, and that's quite a heat signature. Sure it has a lot of brood and probably a good bit of honey up into like where that cross is on the imager there. So as you can see, it stops pretty abruptly on either side. That's likely a stud that runs up and down, and that's the stud bay. And these older homes typically didn't have insulation, so once whatever made the hole and the honeybees move in, they have pretty much free rein to get in there. So this is a plaster wall. We'll cut it with a grinder down those studs and remove the plaster and lath, and then get to getting the bees. That's a good one. I use a grinder to cut the plaster because it destroys every other kind of blade. And I begin to pull the plaster off, leaving the lath intact. That keeps the bees from just bombarding me as I'm opening this space up. Use the vacuum to assist in pulling some of the bees off as I remove the lath. These bees were a little bit on edge this morning because it was cold and damp outside, but they settled down pretty good. Although I kept my suit and gloves on. Just didn't feel like getting stung a whole bunch today. Eventually I cut through the trim to get to the comb that was underneath of the floor. I used my endoscope camera to see down there. There was also a stud dividing the bottom of this cavity, as you'll see with a piece of comb that comes out in a few seconds. Nice brood pattern, a lot of honey. And we end with closing up the hole with steel wool, foam, and polyurethane base caulk.